Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Saggies in early to mid-February? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy in early to mid-February. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this going here for our good friends. What is happening in this beautiful time of year? Oh, okay. I'll take it. Cool. So this energy to me seems pretty chill, pretty laid back. Now, that might be the opposite of what's going on for some of you, because usually these cards can be either how the energy presents or an advice. And this energy actually does feel pretty nonchalant to me. Now there's a lot of layers to it, so it could be other things as well. It's a beautiful card. But before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So the image itself, I think, is beautiful and unique. We see this lovely lady. She's surrounded by the swans, and she's kind of dressed up as a swan. So she's kind of just blending in, doing her thing, not making waves. This energy seems pretty calm and serene. So for some Saggies, maybe it's advice from spirit saying like, "Hey, Saggy, just take a chill pill, relax a little bit, take a breath." And again, that's easier said than done. I know that. But this energy feels like nonchalant and it's like staying in its own lane. Now, for some of you, even if you are a little bit tense, this energy to me is kind of like minding its own business or just doing its own thing. So for some Saggies, maybe that's the mode you're in, where it's like, you know, I'll be over here, I'm doing this in my little bubble, and you could do that over there in yours. Like there is this energy where I'm laying low. And if this is somebody else, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe someone you're connected to isn't trying to step on toes, or they're not trying to inflame things. So I like it for its chill type of energy. It could also represent aesthetics, right? I always think with beautiful cards, it could represent how things appear, how things look. You might be doing something with your look and aesthetic as well. But to me, that energy is laying low, just doing its own thing. So we're just going to let her do that. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Saggies. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It did circulate around the topic of communication. The reading was titled The Serious Talk. Now, for some of you, that could manifest in a way where maybe there's a conversation of a very serious topic that was had or needs to be had, where it's like you seriously need to speak about this. For another portion of you, maybe there was something you discussed where spirit wants you to take it more seriously, like, hey, it's not a joke. That was like the overall vibe. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. Importance around communication. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Saggy friends. What do we got? Early to mid-February, please. Let's get it going. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, one of your power cards. And notice, Archangel Michael, Temperance, there's like this serenity. There's like this calm, chill energy I've been picking up. So maybe for some of you, this is calming energy coming your way, especially if you've been a little wound tight. But I like this. Power card in position number 1. I'll take it. Let's get a couple more. What do we got here for Saggy? Star. Again, lots of angelic energy here, lots of protection for my Saggies. Honestly, this feels quite delightful, my friends. I don't want to jinx it because, you know, we still have to clarify it. But so far, the energy feels like, hey, I like this. You know, I'm a big fan of Saggy energy anyway. But yeah, 7 of Pentacles. There is like this karmic, spiritual, universal undertone in your reading this week. But the energy just seems quiet, seems chill, at least on the surface. That's where we're going to have to really look into it But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements. I know I was yapping a little bit as I was pulling the cards, but elementally, we're split pretty even, right? We got fire, your power element. We got air, which is a very complementary element for a Sagi, and then we have earth. So it's like we have different things. So these could be different areas of life, different aspects, different approaches. We'll just see how it plays. But fire, your realm of comfort, is the realm of action. Actions we take, actions other people take. I always say when it comes to fire energy, it's your inner passion. So my drive, my motivation, my vitality, my life force energy. So usually when this is connecting in the right way, fire energy is great. It's like the Energizer Bunny. Now, the downside to fire energy could be a little unpredictable sometimes, right? It could be a little explosive. It could go 0 to 100 real quick. And listen, I'm a fire sign. I know how it goes dealing with this fiery energy, but it doesn't have to make it a bad thing. In the center, we have air. Now, even though this is the water bear that represents Aquarius, Aquarius is technically an air sign. Air is more about the logic, the mind. It's very pragmatic. It can speak about intelligence and strategy. And I usually think it's very sharp. It does also connect to communication. So whether it's how you communicate yourself or it could be somebody else. So the air energy could be good, but the downside to air is that it could be a little cold and detached sometimes. And here on the back, we have earth. Feelings of stability, feelings of security. It could represent money, work, home, family, investments, all the earthly stuff, which can be great, but the downside to earth is sometimes it feels like a little logjam. Sometimes it could be a little clunky. And all this energy with the cards, they feel chill, they feel relaxed. So hopefully that's a good thing coming in. But let's go through and build this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with your power card. I already mentioned it, but we have Temperance. That's the Saggy card, or one of them, and I think it's great. It has the Archangel Michael on it, so huge when it comes to spiritual protection. So whether you've been praying for it or this is just that natural spiritual insulation. I love having this card just for the spiritual protection alone with Archangel Michael the Defender. Now, in my simplistic style, a card that represents the sign I'm reading for, when we clarify it, it could tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. But a big thing with this card is patience, or taking the foot off the gas, taking a break, taking a rest. This energy is not in a rush. This energy is just chill, like I've been saying. So I like Temperance, but the downside, and I always give you the positive and the downside, this could be an energy that feels stuck. This could be an energy that feels like it's not making progress, or it could feel like it's in limbo or just hanging, right? Like it's an energy, it's just hanging in space. So we'll take a close look at this. I always say when it comes to temperance in particular, there may not be a lot happening on the surface, but underneath the surface, something could be building up. So we'll take a look at it. Now, as we get this placed right here in the front, and again, the spiritual tie, there's this strong, strong karmic energy around the Saggies this week. In the middle, we have the star. And I generally think of long periods of time with this. Now, for some of you, this could be an Aquarius you're connected to. But usually, this is a card of wish fulfillment. It's a card of wins and victories and blessings. It's best case scenario. So when this shows up in a reading, I'm like, oh, yeah, I like that. This could represent having hope, seeing the silver lining, having a light at the end of the tunnel. So it's like a very positive, optimistic, hopeful type of vibe. But similar to this and this, it's not really in a rush. Like stars, like I'll get there when I get there, because this energy to me represents a long amount of time. So this might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, or even next week or next month. The star is our big picture journey, our life's work. So I think it's great. But what might be the downside of such a long seeing card? The star can sometimes represent hopelessness, um, feeling like I'll say pessimistic to keep it nice. I don't want to be mean, but it's like instead of seeing the silver lining, I'm seeing the dark lining around everything. So the energy can be pessimistic sometimes. We're hopeless. So I hope that's not the case, but it is also angelic to me. Now on the back end, we do have the Seven of Pentacles. I like this card, and we see this individual. They're kind of just waiting next to that pentacle bush, waiting patiently on this stuff to grow. So you see, we got this chill, calm, non-rushed, nonchalant theme straight across the board. So again, whether it's advice from spirit saying like, "Hey, slow it down," or it's soothing. There's something about it that's very soothing to me, which I really like. Now, obviously, with this person waiting patiently, you could say, "All right, well, yeah, this is a patience card as well," and you're absolutely right. But it does go a little deeper than that. This card can represent patience paying off, or a process or something you might be experiencing paying off for you in the end. So I always like this card. This is also a big picture card too. When I see the Seven of Pentacles, it is highly karmic. It's a card of reaping what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. So something mirroring back to you. So I would just be, especially with all the spiritual energy, there is this karmic undertone at play. So we're going to see if that keeps going. But yeah, watch out for impatience or feeling stuck, especially with both of these cards. But I want to dive deeper on all that, Saji. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get one shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on your power card here. Oh, and yes, for your reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saji, drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is Temperance here? Please. Okay. Cool. All right. This energy feels very, very sentimental to me. So we have the Six of Cups in the upright underneath Temperance. It's like I'm thinking about the good times with something. I'm very sentimental. There's a softer edge around me. Now, for a portion of you, this doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody else, right? Um, Six of Cups is one of my cards that can represent something looping back, which is a theme I think I've seen for you in recent weeks, and I saw for Aries too. So it's like there's this energy that's wanting to reemerge. We're not going to focus the reading just on that though. But to me, the energy just feels soft. It feels sentimental, and especially underneath your power card. Yeah, could this be a soul tie energy that's like kind of mixing with yours? Yeah, it can be. But to me, it just feels like if I'm not taking a trip down memory lane, I feel softer and more sentimental than I normally do. Now, for some of you, could this be someone you're connected to? Yeah, this is one of the cards that talks about long lasting bonds and connections. And we don't want to focus the whole reading just on this alone. But to me, it's just watch your tenderness in this time. And listen, I know all of us, we all have the full gamut of emotions. Nothing wrong with being vulnerable, nothing wrong with being tender, and feeling your way through those feelings. To me, it just feels like some Saggies might be a little more emotionally fragile than they normally are. Okay, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. We all go through times like this energy, it feels softer, it feels sentimental, and a little more fragile. So just know there could be a lot of things that could be hitting you in the feels or hitting you in different ways where it's like, oh, usually this doesn't get me like this. Like if you normally wouldn't cry watching a movie, you might shed a couple when this energy's here. If that's not you, it could be someone you're connected to doing a lot of thinking and a lot of reminiscing on the past. It's like I'm looking through pictures, I'm thinking about memories. So let's keep going. We're not going to get stuck there. So let's see what the star has. So just know there's a bit of a more emotional fragility here. And yeah, not a bad thing, whether it's you or somebody else. But let's go in on the star. Let's see what that has. So why is the star here, my good friends? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So like we have this odd play of like the past and the future. It's like we got the past, we got the future, and I'm trying to align both or learn from this to push forward in this way. The Ace of Wands is usually very great to me, especially in the upright. It represents offers and opportunities. It could be a conversation. So like when I see this could be exciting news or good news coming in or a conversation that I've been wanting to have. So we do have this little focus around communication that we've been seeing for a couple weeks now. So I like how the communication channels seem to be opening up here for a lot of Saggies. The Ace of Wands is something that gets me pumped. It gets me excited. So whereas this energy is a little more fragile, a little more delicate, this one is like, oh, but yeah, I'm pumped up about this. It's like I'm hyping myself up. I'm talking good about myself. I'm seeing everything in a positive light, positive reinforcement. I'm hyping myself up. That's how this feels. So again, make sure you're being kind to yourself. That's one thing I do want to say. For some of you, this could be some really good, great, exciting news coming in, but it's interesting how it all plays together, the past going into the future. There could be something around a talk or an offer. Let's keep going. I like how the energy feels. It's just very complex. That's what I'll say. There is like a nuance to this. I feel like I could probably pull messages from this reading for like an hour, but we're just going to keep going. Don't want to bore anyone to tears. Well, let's see what the Seven of Pentacles has, the karmic energy, because this energy does move in a loop. It's like past and future, past and future. The energy to me feels like it's looping around. So let's go in on the Seven of Pentacles. How's the Seven of Pentacles here? I mean, I love the way the energy culminates. So we have the Empress in the upright. This is beautiful. And I've been saying it since the beginning. There's like this energy of blessings. To me, this could be like a karmic blessing or a karmic reward of some sort that's like lined up and about to come in. So I think for a lot of Saggies, and I know in recent weeks there's been some ups and downs, right? It hasn't been all bad readings. There's been some good ones sprinkled in. But just how I felt since the beginning. And if you're cross watching for a Saggy, this is good too. It's not just for the Saggy and you're going to be miserable. It's nothing like that. The energy just, it cycles and it feels like something is going to pay off. The process, the cycle, the past, the future, it all seems to align like a big picture where this is aligning, this is aligned, everything's falling into place, divine timing. So in reality, we're looking at six cards, but in reality, we're seeing big picture here, big karmic energy. The Empress could represent motherhood, mother figures, fertility, all that good stuff. It's big Libra vibes, also Taurus because of the Venus energy. But what is she also? A reward. This is a very pleasurable type of energy too. So whether this is a karmic reward, blessing, payoff, all that stuff is in play with the way the energy lines up. So there could be an experience or a process or something you're going through right now that will pay dividends in the end. So whether you're the Saggy or the Cross Watcher, I like how this energy feels. And yeah, I almost knocked all the cards loose here. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, overall, there's a lot of karmic themes, and I think that the energy is good. But here in the front, we have the Temperance card with the Six of Cups. There is this kind of energy that you might feel is unfinished, or you might want to revisit, or it's an energy that wants to come in. But for another portion of you, it just feels like sentimental, softer, a little more fragile. So be kind to yourself, be nice to yourself, because this energy here, it's just very sentimental. It's in its feelings a little bit. In the center, we have an energy that's getting pumped for the future. We have the Star with the Ace of Wands. Now, this could be a really great offer or a massive offer of some kind coming in, or just really great, exciting news. So I like it. But we have the cycle showing up, the past into the future, the past into the future. So you could be going through some sort of metamorphosis right now. Then on the back end, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Empress in the upright. Something paying off huge. So whether it's a karmic blessing, a reward of some kind, win, victory, whatever label we want to put on it, it tells me that there's a process you could be experiencing that will be worth it in the end because there's this divine timing. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards aren't always a bad thing. They could be good too. So let's get you one. Yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Saggy? What do we got? Yeah, Four of Wands. So more of this like spiritual undertone, this win victory undertone. I love it. You know, the Four of Wands, I like to call it the 1111 card. A lot of other readers call it that as well. So watch for the signs, synchronicities, dreams. To me, could be spirit trying to communicate with you. So you could be seeing a lot of different repeating numbers, not just 111 or 444. Those could be involved though. But aside from that, when I think of the Four of Wands, I think of coming together and enjoying yourself or having a good time. So it does fit in with this blessing and reward. But what's the shadow side of the Four of Wands? The shadow side, it could represent feeling stuck or something that's not moving fast enough. So it does tie into this overall calm, chill, relaxed theme that sometimes good things take time. Sometimes change and metamorphosis, sometimes they do take time. And obviously, you're a creator and you can manifest any results you want. I'm a big believer in that. But the Four of Wands is another call to patience. So whether you're being patient with yourself or patient with a process or patient with a person, This energy could sometimes feel that stuck feeling. But we're just going to put it down right there, Saji. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details for the February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be 3, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com, once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.